Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. Shh. Hey, wake up. Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this afternoon, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, Sleeping Beauty, my brother Alex.
Huh?
Alex, what's up?
I heard Alex. What happened?
We started the podcast.
Oh, shoot. Dude,
I don't care if you're snoozing or not.
No.
It's time to roll. It's time to roll, man.
I'm still full.
Oh.
I'm still full. I had a little too much to eat last night.
Thanksgiving 1 in the books.
Woo!
So.
I gave the toilet some work this morning,
Oh,
I'll tell you.
jeez. I ate a lot last night. It was good. It was good. So what we do is.
Mom's cooking, man. Come on.
Right? So Alex and I both go in our separate ways for Thanksgiving Day.
Mm-hmm.
So our mother has traditionally over the years said, I still want to do Thanksgiving. So she does it the Saturday before Thanksgiving. So we do I do two Thanksgivings. You?
I do two.
He does two as well. So we did Thanksgiving 1 last night.
As if we were going to complain about having two Thanksgivings.
No, I'm thinking we should adopt another family so we can do a third Thanksgiving somewhere.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving week. We should have just,
That's right. And everyone takes, most people take, Monday, Tuesday. They take Wednesday off. Wednesday's a shit day. No one works on Wednesdays, on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving anymore. A lot of people take Monday and Tuesday as well.
Just because.
Why not, right? Why work just 2 days? I mean, if you're off a majority of the week, you may as well be off the whole week.
Yeah.
So I think it's certainly possible to fit in a third Thanksgiving if we do it the way our family does it. One on Saturday, one on Tuesday, the real Thanksgiving on Thursday. You could even have a fourth on Saturday after that.
Jeez. That'd be... Talk about... Yeah, forget losing weight. There's no way...
Weight gain.
So we started this... we started this fitness challenge at work, and it started Friday, this past Friday, and I just don't see how it's gonna work.
How long does it go?
All the way through the second week of January. So I mean, this is in the middle of
the holiday
the two most
food fest holidays.
This is not gonna work. I'm participating, but it's gonna be hard.
No, that's not gonna work.
And
there's no way that's gonna work.
And then tomorrow will be our office Thanksgiving luncheon. So I mean, it's already out the window.
Yeah. So the fitness challenge will be who gains the most weight.
So actually, I will have 3 Thanksgivings.
That's right, the one at work. I don't think we're doing anything.
Yeah.
Go
awesome.
figure.
More food.
Whose idea was it to have a fitness challenge?
I don't mind the fitness challenge, but the timing of it is
no.
Just
That's
not,
what I'm saying.
Oh.
Who thought of having a fitness? I bet you it was Susie from accounting that she's a vegan. She doesn't freaking eat anything anyway, right?
Damn accountants. They don't stick to numbers.
That's crazy. So seriously, whose idea was it to have?
I have no idea. They just sent out an email, and I don't know. I'm not in the fitness committee at work or.
Look. If you come up to me talking about a fitness challenge the week before Thanksgiving, I can't be friends with you. That's it.
Yeah,
I can't. If I was on Facebook, unfriend. Right?
Well, that's why it's a challenge.
Dude, it's a challenge all year long for some of us.
Yeah, but this is a real challenge.
No, this is a jerk.
Damn accountants don't know what the hell they're doing.
That's nuts. Well, hey, for you folks out there, Thanksgiving is just a few days away. Be safe on the roads out there. Enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday. We have lots to be grateful for this year. I mean, heck, for you fans out there, last year at this time, you didn't have the Positive Sports Podcast.
That's right.
So there's something to be thankful for, right?
Absolutely. And if you want to reach out to the show, you can do so via email at positivesports10@gmail.com. positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get rid of Ed, if you want to get a hold of Ed.
Get rid of Ed? What?
Yeah, let's get rid of Ed.
Send me all the tweets you want. DM me. I'm not going anywhere.
If you want to get a hold of Ed on Twitter,
At eMontana21.
and if you want to get a hold of myself, see, too much food, man. I'm not thinking
You're
straight.
in a food coma almost.
What the hell is that on your hand?
Oh, it's the stamp from
What
the
kind of
ballpark.
sissy stamp is that?
I went out drinking last night. If you
And you
must
got
know.
a thumbs up? Is that for your cab ride?
It's a Uber. Here I am. No, it's from the ballpark. My son had a tournament.
Sure. That does not. I mean, that does not look like a baseball tournament stamp.
What does a baseball tournament stamp look like?
I didn't even know they give stamps, but I mean a baseball
Dude,
or
this
glove.
place, a lot of places they'll charge you to park, right? Like they'll charge you $5 to enter the complex, and you pay $5, you park for the day.
Right.
This place, they let you park, but then to get in the gates, they make you pay $5. So it's $5 a person.
So you
They've
can't.
got to be raking in the dough.
That's how they get you.
Yeah,
You've already parked at that point. You're already at the gate.
your kid's inside.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
yeah, I guess I'll watch.
They're
it.
like, come on, don't you want to go see your kid?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'll be like, nah, I got some binoculars. I'll go back to the car.
Hey, that's not a bad idea because it's kind of like out in the country, right? So if you go on the other side of the road, you could probably park in the field, and if you have binoculars, you could
I mean, isn't that what
be pretty close.
Isn't that what you used to do back in the days at like the polo grounds?
Well, I wasn't around in the Polo Grounds days.
You
but
weren't around.
I'm guessing that's what they do.
Your beard says otherwise, bro. All right, what are we diving into?
I don't know. What do you want to talk about first? Football?
By the way, if you want to get a hold of me on Twitter,
Did you not?
I did not plug myself.
Oh my!
That didn't sound right, but you get the point.
You should
Catch
plug
me
yourself.
on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 8. Okay, this one's going sideways, but that's okay. We like that.
Sideways. It's going in the toilet.
Where are we going first? Not in the toilet.
Not in the toilet. Well, let's talk about what happened this week in the NBA.
A lot. Well,
Because we got some. We finally got something going. Look,
15 games deep.
I've always said that the NBA, of all of the regular seasons, to me the NBA is the worst one out of the three major sports. Right?
Agree.
Football, baseball,
And
and basketball.
part of the playoffs.
Yeah, and the first round of the playoffs are a waste of time. And this year it feels even more so, right? Because we have this quote unquote super team in the Golden State Warriors. I don't feel like there's as much interest in the LeBron drama because no one thinks they're going to be that good. And no one knows who's in the East, it feels like. So it feels like it's even worse this year.
You know what it is about the Lakers and LeBron, because I don't think, and we only care about the Lakers right now because LeBron's on there. I think yes,
We tend to care about the Lakers regardless.
when they're good.
No, we love talking about the Lakers. They love talking about the Lakers no matter what.
I think him being out in the West and the late games is not, is probably not
Hoping.
is not helping sports talk in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of in a way,
Yeah,
right?
no, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. But anyway, so we did, we thought it was going to be pretty much drama-free, blah, blah, blah. Let's make it through the season and get to the playoffs. And then all of a sudden, in what felt like a nothing game, nothing circumstance, like the Warriors thing kind of blew up out of nowhere, right? So KD and Draymond Green go up for a rebound. Draymond gets the rebound, dribbles it up the court, ends up kicking the ball away, doesn't pass it to
Game
Durant.
tied, like 5 seconds left.
Late in the game, doesn't kick it out to Durant, and he ends up kicking the ball around, and they end up losing. Or not losing, going into overtime, right?
Well, I mean, let's stop right there. Curry is out.
That is a problem for them.
Curry is out, and why is Draymond Green taking the ball, driving it up the field with 6 seconds left with the game tied?
Well, look, it's a poor decision on his part, no doubt. But these guys, they do this all the time. I mean, it's not it's not like, especially with Curry out, right? When Curry's there, when your star point guard's there, it doesn't matter what's going on in the game. You get a rebound, you look for him to outlet and go, right?
Right.
But with him out, anybody will pick up the ball and go.
No, bro.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying they do it all the time.
I don't know about that. I have to disagree with you. No, who does it all the time?
They all do it. All teams do that. It doesn't. Look, if it's late in the game and
yeah, but you have a chance.
Give me a team with a regular old point guard.
The Hornets.
The Hornets.
Kemba Walker.
Yeah. I mean,
that's who you want taking your last shot.
Yeah, no, that's who you want taking your last shot, but you don't. That's not necessarily the person that ends up dribbling it up the floor. Sometimes it'll be whoever. You're in a hurry. Things gotta happen.
I don't agree with that, man.
I'm not saying no. I'm not saying it's right. You're misunderstanding me. I'm not saying he was right to do it. I'm saying that kind of stuff happens all the time. For someone, my point is, for Kevin Durant, and I don't know what upset him the most, but he seemed upset from the moment Draymond took off. For him to be upset about that just seems kind of silly to me. Like, they do that stuff all the time.
Could you imagine?
It's not right, but
the team that we compare these Warriors to the most, or the media compares them the most to, are the Chicago Bulls, right? Pippen, Jordan, Rodman. Could you imagine Dennis Rodman grabbing a rebound with Jordan right next to him and Rodman taking the ball all the way and just bobbling it and losing it and the game goes... I mean, there's...
I could imagine that.
I couldn't. I don't... Because
Rodman... But that's kind of not fair because Draymond Green is not Rodman. Draymond Green is a key piece of that team. I think a better comparison is, what if Scottie Pippen had done it?
Pippen is a scorer himself. That's okay.
Right, but again, a very clear 2-star to the number 1 star, right? Pippen to Jordan, Draymond Green to KD. I understand their roles are slightly different, Pippen and Green, but it's the same kind of thing. And look, it's like you said, we're 15 games into the season. This game doesn't matter that much.
And that's the only reason that all this doesn't really... they'll find a way to fix it for this season. But, I mean, there's no way... And also the things that Draymond supposedly said to KD, is probably what...
That's a bit much.
That's a bit much.
That's a bit much.
But to be clear, I want my scorer or one of my scorers with the ball in his hands.
No, absolutely.
With 6 seconds left.
Absolutely. Look,
so
from an X's and O's perspective, in that game, Draymond Green is dead wrong. He's dead wrong, right? Maybe he's not dead wrong to dribble it up, but then to not kick it out to KD, who was open, he's dead wrong.
And I guess you can fault KD too, because KD really didn't run up the court. He kind of stood back there, clapped his hands. That's
my point. Like, he just seemed...
Right.
It seemed like he made too much out of the fact that he wasn't given the opportunity to dribble the ball up the floor. When the important thing is getting an open shot at the other end of the floor, not dribbling it up there. It seemed silly to me. And quite frankly, look, Kevin Durant is bringing some of this on himself because he won't commit to the Warriors long term. He left a perfectly good situation, or maybe not perfectly good, but he left a good situation with Russell Westbrook to join up with a super team. So there's fear that he's going to do the same thing someplace else. So, he's built this reputation. He won't commit long term. He doesn't want to talk about the offseason. And then he has this miniature fit on the bench, right? Because it takes two to argue. And, he's kind of brought this on himself. And quite frankly, Draymond Green is not the kind of guy that's going to fight with you and not use all of the ammunition because some of it might hurt your feelings. Right? I mean, he's not going to be PC in a fight. But it's not like he's going to refrain from cursing for the children.
Right. But in all honesty, don't sit there and tell KD, well, leave if you want to leave. We don't need you. No, you know what? You think you did need him because you were one of the 2 or 3 that went out there to the Hamptons and recruited KD. Right. So don't say you don't need him because if you didn't need him, then you would have skipped that little meeting.
That's right.
But you know what? Now that you say, KD doesn't want to commit long term, I wonder if the Warriors don't want to commit long term.
Oh no, the Warriors want to.
You think they do?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't they?
Because now you got to pay you. That would be a fourth long term max contract that they would have to dish out.
Yes,
I don't know that.
And it would be more guarantees of championship rings.
They know they really don't need him though.
Well, what do you mean by don't need him?
Well, that they're capable of winning without him. Like they've won without him before.
But being more dominant makes you more marketable. Makes you you become something greater than the game, right? You become legend. You can monetize that.
He gone, bro. He gone.
You think so?
Oh yeah. I told you this.
I don't know.
And I also told you this was going to be one of the most entertaining NBA seasons that we've had in a while. I think parity and the Warriors. That's entertaining right now.
I didn't think it was that big a deal. What did you think about the Warriors suspending Draymond for a game?
I think that was BS. Suspend him. Why? I think that just shows that the Warriors want to cater to KD a little bit.
It is kind of silly.
Why not suspend them both?
Yeah, I mean, they were both part of the argument. I find it kind of silly that teams are like bending over backwards to cater to these superstars. And I understand why they do it, because in the NBA, one superstar does make the difference. See 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers. But geez, it's a terrible precedent to set.
I think that was more of a message to KD saying, hey, we want you around for the future. So we're going to go ahead and do you this favor because he called you a little bitch. And we're going to suspend Draymond for you. And then we're going to say he has like a couple, toe problem and he's going to sit out the next few games and blah, blah, blah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
No, if this would have happened 40, 50 games deep, then maybe it would have been a bigger deal. No. But 15 games in, I think they'll find a way to.
No, I think if it happened in the playoffs, it'd be a big deal. But not even 40 games in. You still got 40 to go.
That wouldn't happen in the playoffs.
Yeah, probably not. In the playoffs, they're too focused on winning. But it's silly. It's silliness. The other thing that happened this week in the NBA?
Someone got cut. Someone didn't
listen to you.
Unfairly cut too, by the way. Unfair.
I don't know about unfairly.
Unfair.
Unfair. Why? Because he should be on the team. He doesn't belong on an NBA team anymore.
Well, let's talk about
certainly not at those dollars.
We're talking about Melo, by the way.
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
So wait, tell me who is on the team right now?
The rest of the guys.
Who are the rest of the guys?
Guys that can score and play a little bit of defense.
They're like 5-7 right now. What's their record? They're not that good.
I don't know. They have not gotten off to a good start.
Well, they're using him as let's blame Melo. Melo's not to blame for.
He's not to blame for the problem. But it was an ill-conceived move. Look, you brought in a guy with a history of needing the ball and not playing defense onto a team that already has guys that need the ball and have a history of not playing defense. So you didn't improve the chemistry of the team because now you got too many people wanting the ball all the time.
So whose fault is that?
You didn't improve the defense.
So whose fault is that?
I don't know.
That's the coach. What do you mean you don't know?
It's
the easiest answer ever. It's the coach and the GM.
Right. It's one of those two or both.
So it's not Melo.
But
it's not Melo's fault.
Wait, okay.
They failed to fit him in.
You're right. It's not Melo's fault. Hold on a second, Alex. You're right. It's not Melo's fault. So we should fire the GM and the coach.
No,
right?
I didn't say that.
No. And I agree with you. We should fire them. But then what do you do with Melo?
No, I didn't say we should
fire them. Because keeping Melo doesn't help the situation.
Right.
So you want to fire the coach.
Right.
And the GM.
No, the coach is garbage. Look.
Yes, but not garbage. He's not garbage.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not garbage. Stop. Garbage is don't. That's
It-
overstating it. He's not garbage.
It didn't work in Phoenix. It didn't work in New York. It's not working in Houston.
Look.
He is garbage.
He has gotten them deep into the playoffs the last 2 years. You can't blame him for Phoenix and the shit show in New York.
And that's about as deep as they're going to go.
And that may be. But it's not like they're losing in the first round to an 8 seed. They won 65 games last year. Garbage is overstating it to me. That's too much. He's a good coach. Is he going to win an NBA championship? I don't know. Maybe never.
You're being way too nice. I'm sorry.
No, it's not nice. I just don't think it's necessary to call a coach garbage when he's got a record of, quite a few wins. He's made it deep into the playoffs. He does a good job. Is he the best coach in the league? No, I'm not saying that.
On defense, he doesn't preach any defense.
No, I agree with you. Look, the Melo thing was a gaffe from the beginning. It was a terrible idea on both sides, to be honest with you, because Melo should be thinking about riding off into the sunset or playing in the Chinese league or something easier than the NBA, because the NBA is too difficult for him at this point.
I'm sorry, Rockets fans, but with Harden on the team, you ain't winning. Harden is not the answer.
They were a tweaked knee away from going to the finals last year.
Well, I mean, if Harden didn't shoot 1 for 11 in a game 7,
but they were an injury away from possibly winning it. They were very much in that series with
they
the
had the
Warriors.
MVP, Ed. They had the MVP.
I know, but the MVP doesn't play by himself, because if it was 1-on-1, LeBron James would win the championship every year.
LeBron James single-handedly takes the Cavs and every other team to the finals.
Right.
With the garbage squad.
In the East with no competition. In the West, when you have to face a team that's got 4 bona fide all-stars, it's a little bit more difficult.
You're giving way too much credit.
To who?
To Harden. That's to who?
Well, look, he had a fantastic season last year. I mean, he was the MVP. He was great last season.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, but the squad is not as good depth-wise as the Warriors.
And this year they're not as good as last year.
No, and look, last year was let's call it a career year for that franchise. They may never win 65 games again. I didn't expect them to win 65 this year, but bringing on Melo was a headache from the jump. It was not it just did not fit into what they're trying to do, and I don't understand why they did it. And is it his fault? No, it's not his fault, but you got to get rid of him, otherwise you're perpetuating the mistake, which is what they did. I will give them credit for getting rid of him right away. Not trying to make it work long term. We're 15 games into the season. They said, this ain't working. Cut bait. Let's go. Which I think is the right thing to do, because they could have let this problem fester and try to figure it out until game 60, and at that point now they're battling to be a 7 seed, which is not good for anybody.
I think they're 3-0 since they cut him. So
I feel bad for Melo, because I like Melo as a player. I mean, he's fun to watch, but at this point in his career, he's not that guy. And look,
Hall of Fame?
Who's? Oh shit. Basketball.
Borderline.
Basketball does the Hall of Fame for basketball, not for his NBA career. So I think because it will include his entire body of work,
right,
which is gold medal in the Olympics, that NCAA title that he pretty much single-handedly won, because that's the way Melo balls. I think when you put all those things together, I think he will get in.
Yeah, he's borderline.
Yeah, to me, he's borderline.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Does he play again this season?
Somebody's gonna pick him up.
Somebody, right?
I think someone will. But really, if he wants to continue to play, it'd be nice for him to go overseas and check out China for a year.
Play with Marbury.
Play with Marbury's balling out
Man.
there. Jimmer Fredette is balling and dropped 75.
75.
So I mean, if Jimmer can drop 75 in the Chinese league, how many points can Melo score?
175.
I was going to say 150. Surely he can double whatever Fredette's doing.
And why couldn't they just name the dude Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmer, I don't get it.
It's like,
is that short for something, or is that
I I don't know. It seems long for Jimmy.
It seems kind of silly, but whatever.
He should play some chess and go sign with the Warriors.
Jimmer?
No, Melo.
Melo could sign with the Warriors. Hey, if he gets a ring, he's in the Hall of Fame faux show.
No shit.
Hey, did you notice in the going back to the Warriors? Did you notice who the peacemaker was during the KD
Boogie? It was of all people.
And my favorite part of that was he had those glasses.
Oh, yeah.
These bullshit glasses, and all I kept thinking is Boogie playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers.
Out of all people, it was Boogie.
And
Shout out to Boogie for playing peacemaker.
Boogie's a good guy. He's misunderstood.
He is. The misunderstanding of Boogie. I can see it now, 30 for 30. In like 20 years.
Dude, those 30 for 30 things are awesome.
I haven't, do they still come out?
Every now and then, but they have a podcast too.
Oh, they do?
Oh, it's awesome.
I did not know that.
They had one a little while back that I listened to, was about Hideo Nomo and how he got to the major leagues. Because, back then, there weren't very many Japanese players coming over. And the story of how he got here is absolutely fascinating.
I did not know
They've
that.
got a whole bunch of them. 30 for 30 podcasts. Check it out. They're really good. I like them. All right. Is that enough NBA talk?
I mean, what else happened this week in the NBA? Not much.
We're not,
right?
you notice we're not talking basketball per se.
No.
We're talking about...
I guess, I mean, out of all that talk, Houston's climbed back and they're like in the 8th spot.
Ooh.
Of the Western Conference. In the Eastern, I guess Boston had a good game against Toronto on Friday night. That was a showdown where Kyrie went off.
They're still trying to figure it out with all the talent on the court at the same time, aren't they?
They are.
Yeah, see, the first couple of weeks, there's a lot of stuff that you just got to kind of figure out.
Yeah. I mean, Jimmy Buckets caught a game winner last night against the Hornets where Kemba Walker dropped 60.
Yeah?
That must suck.
Score 60 and lose?
That lets you know you got no help. He scored 60 and the rest of the Hornets scored 59. The rest of the Hornets attempted 65 shots and he attempted 36.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for coming, teammates.
So,
jeez, that's brutal.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's not much.
It's early season still. So I'm not too worried about it.
Speaking of signing, do you know if the New Orleans Saints win a Super Bowl, Dez Bryant gets a ring?
He was on the team.
Does he go into the Hall of Fame with a ring?
I don't think he was a Hall of Famer before the ring, and I don't think the ring is really going to make a difference in this case.
You don't think so?
Probably not.
Huh. I don't know.
I did see him on Twitter tweet out "Go Saints" today.
Did he?
I guess he's still part of the team, right?
I
mean, if he's going to get a ring,
does he get a bonus for winning?
Dude, can you imagine, like, if I'm Dez Bryant and I know that I get a ring if the Saints win it all,
and a bonus.
I am cheering my ass off. I'm the biggest Saints fan. Who dat, man? I'm like, oh, I'm all in on the Saints, bro.
Well, who that is looking all of a sudden like they want to be the best team in the NFL.
Well, I don't think that's all of a sudden. They've been playing well for...
No, I know, but like as we get deeper into the season...
Yeah, you get the
they're
feeling
looking
they're
like
real.
They're looking like a flawless team, right? I mean, the Rams.
I wouldn't say
took
flawless,
a loss.
but
They struggled a little bit against the Packers.
I wouldn't call them flawless. I think
and now
defensively they're still not the best defensive team.
Right.
Part of what makes their defense good is their offense.
The
right?
Rams.
The Saints.
The Saints. Okay.
Because the Saints' offense put so much pressure on the other team's offense to score that they start throwing the ball more and get away from what they want to do. And so, you got to keep up with them because that offense looks just about flawless. I mean, they look like they can score whenever they want. They look like 30 points is a minimum.
But we always knew this about the Saints.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put up 30, 38 points any game. Their defense has always been what's lacked a little bit, but
Yeah. No, they are looking, man, they are looking good, and that's putting it mildly. They lost that first week, complete shit show with the Buccaneers, but then ever since, my goodness, they have, and it's
that seems like a long time ago.
yeah. Well, and you know what's funny about that is, well, not funny, I guess, but the Buccaneers are exactly what we thought they were going to be. I mean, have you seen them these last few weeks? They're going back and forth between Fitzpatrick and
that's
Winston.
a mess.
And they're turning the ball over at a record pace. I mean, they look like the Buccaneers of '76 that went 0-14 or whatever it was. I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I caught the tail end of the game against the Giants today, and it's like, what are you doing? You need a field goal, and you just throwing the ball. What are you doing? I don't understand. There's got to be heads rolling in Tampa Bay after this season.
There should be quarterback and coach.
Oh yeah, those two got to go.
Winston, not so much.
Fitzpatrick too.
Yeah, I know, but
Fitzpatrick too, because once you have a backup that has started, the most popular guy in any city that doesn't have Brady, Rodgers, and Breeze is the backup quarterback. Yeah. Everyone thinks they can do better with the backup quarterback for some reason. And once the backup plays, man, you got to do so. You got to monetize that asset. You got to trade him for something else because people will want to see him, and the pressure goes on and on. And unfortunately, I think that's the problem for Fitzpatrick. He's not good enough to be a starter, but he's so damn lovable that everywhere he goes, people want him to play, and it creates a problem for everyone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that boat has sailed. He needs to, or the team needs to move on from him.
I agree. You were complaining about Thursday Night Football, and we got a doozy on Thursday night this week.
What did we get? Who was it?
Green Bay and Seattle.
Yeah, both teams playing for their
playoff lives.
Yeah,
really.
And now I think the Packers. I told you the Packers were going to be.
Mathematically,
they're done, bro.
Mathematically, they still have a chance. No different than the Eagles, who are losing today. But
McCarthy's
it's looking bleak for. It's looking really.
McCarthy's on the hot seat. He's on the hot seat.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
I told you that in the beginning of the year, bro.
I know. I didn't believe you, but at 4-5-1 or 4-6-1, whatever they are at this point, yeah, because the expectation in Green Bay was quite high, and they have not met the expectation. And quite frankly, it's a little bit of play calling, I think, on McCarthy's part, but that defense is just. It's just got too many holes in it.
Yeah, you know what? They never had a good defense.
No, I mean,
McCarthy
they do okay against the run, but against the pass, they get absolutely no pressure on the quarterback. So I don't necessarily blame the secondary, but it's a problem defensively. So teams can throw the ball at will.
So why not blame Aaron Rodgers?
Why would you blame Aaron Rodgers?
Why would you not? Why do we not blame Aaron Rodgers?
Because everybody loves Aaron Rodgers.
But Aaron Rodgers has the same amount of Super Bowls as Drew Brees, one, and Aaron Rodgers hasn't shown up this year in games versus good quarterbacks or good teams. So why do we praise him so much?
I'm gonna go ahead and assume that that's a rhetorical question because I do not have an answer for you. I don't understand the media's love affair with Aaron Rodgers. Don't get me wrong. I think he's very good.
He is.
He's a very good quarterback. But the media talks about him like he's some guy who's been to the Super Bowl 8 times and won 5 Super Bowls. You know, like Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, that guy.
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Rodgers is very good, very very good.
He is,
but yeah, I don't get it.
And the first ones to go is the head coach.
No,
in this situation,
no. Sometimes it's Carmelo Anthony.
Well, unfairly.
It's funny, like every time we see something like this, whatever scenario we see, we always say the same thing, right? The team plays like shit and the coach is the one that gets fired. Or, look at management trying to make a scapegoat out of a player so they cut him. You know, it's like we always say that. Oh, it always works this way. Well, no, it doesn't. It works both ways. It just depends on how. It just depends on which way the cookie crumbles.
99% of the time,
in the NFL. In the
it's
NFL,
the head
it's
coach.
well, no, there's a lot of play. See, the thing is with players, it's quieter, right? Because it happens in the preseason.
Yeah, but no, but I'm talking like when it comes down to like quarterback and head coach.
Oh yeah, quarterback and head coach. The head coach.
The head coach goes.
But there's a lot of like on defense, especially. There's a lot of players that get cut that it's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
he's good.
Well, I guess
why are we cutting him?
Well, the quarterback is the franchise position, and.
Now Green Bay is struggling. It's a long shot for them to make the playoffs at this point.
Well,
we had some good games today. Did you happen to catch that Steelers game today?
The end of it, whatever they showed.
The Jaguars. Look.
No.
Jalen Ramsey needs to shut the hell up. Now, he played a fantastic football game today. I think he had 1 or 2 interceptions today. He played a fantastic football game. But please shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Your team is 3-6. You're talking garbage about a guy who's 6-2-1. His team is 6-2-1, and you have not beat them yet. You notice how we never hear about Jalen Ramsey talking about the guy he played last week? Because the guy he played last week just beat the brakes off of him. He's always talking about the guy next week. Hey, man, how about shut up, win a football game, and then you can talk about the guy you played last week.
He's all year he's talked. I think there's been a couple weeks where maybe he didn't talk because he was pouting. I think when they interviewed him.
Yeah.
But when he has talked, his team has lost.
To be fair, his team is 2-7. They lose most of the time.
Well, yeah, but
2-7 or no 3-7.
Probably
They're
3-7.
They're terrible at this point. They are absolutely terrible. 3-7 at this point. He needs to shut up. He needs to stop talking.
Yes, he does. I agree. Pittsburgh's looking. We get this out of Pittsburgh every damn year. They look good in the regular season, and then come playoff time when they meet the Evil Empire, the Patriots, they get handled.
To be fair.
No, it's not to be fair. There's nothing to be fair. It's what it is. It is what it is.
No, yeah, but we say that, but let's be fair. 9 times over the last however many years, 15, 16 years, the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl. So it's not just the Steelers that are running into the Evil Empire and not winning. It's the Chiefs. It's the Jaguars. It's the Colts. It's the Texans. It's whoever meets
Okay,
up
those
with
teams that you just mentioned, they don't make the playoffs every year. The Steelers make the playoffs every year.
That's a tribute to the Steelers. They're
okay,
good. They make the playoffs.
But not good enough.
Not quite. Well, I mean, look. But you're pitting them up against one of the greatest franchises ever.
Oh, so? What?
So the Steelers are really good. They're just not one of the greatest franchises ever.
Well, they are one of the greatest franchises ever.
Not mean, right now.
They have 6 rings.
Right, but not right now.
6? 6.
6.
Yes.
But not right now. Right now.
Or last year, or the year before.
Right now,
or the year before.
Right now, they're just a smidge below.
I bet you if you go back and look, the Patriots probably didn't even make the playoffs when the
when the Steelers won their last 2.
Yeah.
Against the Seahawks and the Cardinals.
Packers.
No, they lost to the Packers.
They lost to the Packers, right? You're right, my bad. Yes.
Because when Aaron Rodgers goes to the Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
That's right. He's undefeated.
That's right. I mean, he's the greatest quarterback ever. He would never go to the Super Bowl. The Steelers look great, and that offense looks tough. And I mean, they struggled today, and they still managed to put up 20. They had to come back to do it, admittedly, but I mean, Roethlisberger played a terrible first half and did a fantastic job in the second half. Came back and played an awesome football game. I think the Steelers are going to be a problem in the playoffs. We're talking, when we talk in the AFC, we talk about Kansas City and the Patriots, but the Steelers are going to give people trouble. It's just they have a little bit of the Saints in them. They can put up points. They can move the ball, and they're going to force you to run the track meet with them, and sometimes that doesn't work for other teams.
I think you're leaving out a team. I think you're leaving out the Texans unfairly again. 7 in a row, bro. I mean, that team looks, and they got some injuries on the offensive line, but Deshaun Watson looked like he had some time to throw today.
Yeah.
And, it looks like their running game is starting to come through.
My problem with the Texans at this point is I don't think their running game's quite good enough. It's good, but not good enough. Their offensive line is good, not good enough. It makes me nervous that Deshaun Watson's going to get hit one time. I mean, Deshaun still does a lot of running for his life. And then the third thing, and probably my biggest problem with this team is I don't agree with Bill O'Brien's play calling. I don't understand it. They look good in the beginning of that game today. And then for like a quarter and a half, the offense was just shut down. All of a sudden, it just could not move.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how that happens. I don't understand how they can drive the ball up the field twice on the first two drives, and then they can't do anything. It is night and day within the span of a quarter. It's incredible, and it scares me when they play better teams.
See, I think they have to run the ball more. I would be just feeding Lamar Miller, which I traded for in fantasy.
Yes and no. I mean, I can see that argument, but when they've got some good weapons on the outside that they need to use. DeAndre Hopkins has to get the ball and get his touches and stuff like that. I think during the course of a game, it just works better that way. Well, their offense anyway.
I like my confidence in the Texans. Who else? The Chiefs play tomorrow night.
Hey, let's talk about the other team you had a lot of confidence in.
Who's that?
Into the season.
Who? See?
Cincinnati.
They're still 5-5, 500. They're still in it. They're right there.
Yeah, they're right there. Not in the playoffs.
Look,
gonna make the playoffs.
If the Ravens lose next week and the Bengals win, the Bengals are in the playoffs. In the last spot for the playoffs.
Not necessarily, because if the Colts win,
it doesn't matter. They got the tiebreaker over the Colts. They beat them week 1.
If the
Titans win, they're 5-5. Oh, right. They haven't played. I don't know. Jeez, they're all 5-5. Man, the Colts are playing good.
Yeah, they are.
Their defense is playing good. They're running the ball efficiently, and Andrew Luck looks like he has a brand new shoulder.
Which he does.
Well, yeah, he does.
I gave him a whole new shoulder.
I mean, they look good.
You guys lost to a team with no quarterback today.
Who's that? Who's you guys?
Cincinnati.
Lamar Jackson. What do you mean?
He's not a quarterback, dude.
He
right. Ran for 172 yards.
Hey, man, he got his Blake Bortles on. He bortled.
He ran his ass off.
Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback.
No, he is. I'm being funny, but yeah, I don't know.
They were winning too, man. I was so hoping they win and the Steelers lose, and it just both didn't happen.
I'm curious now. I want to see his stats.
On who?
On Lamar Jackson.
He doesn't have much stats.
13 for 19 for 150 yards and 1 interception.
What did he run for?
117. He almost ran for more than he threw. And he rushed the ball 27 times.
Was that their running back one? I mean, what the heck?
He was the best running back of the day.
Man, that could be a good fantasy pick.
I was just going to say, for those of you that
does he catch the ball too? Does he throw it to himself?
Does he have receptions? I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that that's going to be sustainable. I mean, it's going to be good for a week, 2-3 weeks, right? Until Flacco comes back.
Is Flacco done in Baltimore?
I think so.
Man.
Even without Lamar Jackson, I don't think they've ponied up a lot of money for the guy, and they're not getting a return on that investment.
No.
So,
well, they already got something in return. They got a Super Bowl.
Well, it depends, right?
Before.
It depends. If that contract was to reward him for bringing a Super Bowl to Baltimore, then they're okay with it.
Yeah.
But if that contract was he's good enough to win Super Bowls, he hasn't done that since he got that contract. So.
No.
And we had some upsets this week. The Chargers went down to Denver.
They lost?
Yes. Arizona lost to Oakland.
That's an upset.
Is that an upset? Well, Oakland only had 1 win and Arizona had 2.
Only if you're a
So
fan
Arizona
of the
was-
Raiders.
Arizona was twice as good as the Raiders, and they lost.
Yeah, but it's the Raiders had more wins than the.
No, the Raiders only had 1 win going into the game, and Arizona had 2.
So
Therefore, Arizona's twice as good as Oakland, and yet they lost.
So Oakland won.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Wow.
Yeah.
My buddy Chris, I know you're watching. I know you're happy today.
A Raider fan?
He's well, yeah.
My father-in-law, God rest his soul, is happy. He's a big Raider fan as well. And then nothing else really of value. The Panthers lost to the Lions, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I know they got just absolutely shelled last week against Pittsburgh, but I thought, the Lions is a little bit of a step down in competition. Maybe they could win this one.
I don't know. The Lions have beaten the good teams this season and lost to the bad ones.
They're 4-6. They're terrible. And who is 5-5 after 10 games?
A lot of teams.
The Dallas Cowboys.
But they've won 2 in a row now.
Well, they had lost 2 in a row, so they had to catch up.
Oh, okay. So then a loss coming
So
up.
they're losing next week. Faux show. Oh, and it's against Washington. It's the Thanksgiving Day game.
That's a game for first place right there.
Oh wow, that's right.
Because the Redskins are up. They're up a game, but now they're down a quarterback.
Oh, did you see that?
That looked like an ankle made of rubber.
You know what the fucked up thing is about that?
Huh.
Who was in the stands today?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Theismann.
Right.
What is today? Today is the 33rd anniversary of Lawrence Taylor snapping Joe Theismann's leg.
And he called it, right? I think he sent out a tweet as soon as that happened, like saying he knows what that's about.
Ugh. Man, when your foot is facing the wrong way like that, ooh, that's hard to watch.
Just think about it. All that guaranteed money.
This dude's got a snapped leg, his bones sticking out, and you're worried about guaranteed money?
Yeah. Yeah, I would be if I was the Redskins. Yes.
Man, that looked painful. I feel really bad for that guy.
Yeah, no, I do too.
Not just for the injury. He didn't get any credit in Kansas City. He eventually basically got run out of Kansas City. He didn't get any credit in San Francisco. He basically got run out of San Francisco. Now he's here. He's playing well this year, and now
He's playing all right. Yeah, he's got that Redskins offense is not. Then it's not ran well.
it's not very dynamic.
No.
No, it's not.
So
They've got Peterson, who's having just a comeback year. They've got Doxson, who I really like, the wide receiver. But yeah, now
shit, 3 of their offensive line, or they had 3 injuries alone last game. No.
yeah, they're starting to fall apart.
Boy, won't that be something if the Cowboys come back and win this division?
At 8-8,
I'll
they
kill
might.
myself.
At 8-8, they might. The winner of this division might very well be 8-8.
Yeah.
Because I fear the Redskins are 6-4, but I fear that it's going to be a tough road for them the next 6 games without Alex Smith.
God.
The Cowboys are, hey, look, if they're 5-5 now, they're going to be 8-8 at the end of the year. The Eagles have
done.
too many injuries in their secondary. They got absolutely trounced today by the Saints. It looks like they are done. And then you've got the Giants who, if the Giants win 8 in a row to finish the season, they'll finish 9-7.
Which would be better than 8-8.
Yeah,
And
but
we
if-
make the playoffs!
But they've got to win 8 in a row. That's the problem.
You got to speak it into existence, man.
I mean, look, I wouldn't mind it happening, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, well.
Although the one thing that they're doing, the one thing that I've noticed over the last 2 games, they've said, you know what, our offensive line sucks. How about we use Saquon Barkley more? And it looks good.
Well, they're blocking. The offensive line is actually playing decent.
Their run blocking is good. Their pass blocking is still bad.
Oh.
So why not play to your strength? I don't have a problem with it. But it sure does seem like they've said, you know what, let's go with this Barkley thing because We can't.
He
throw
is
the ball.
having an amazing season
He's
for
a hell
for
of
a
a
rookie.
player. He's a hell of a player. He's built like a.
See, we
brick
did
house.
things backwards. So, everyone wants to take the franchise quarterback and then build around that. No, we just did things backward. We give a long-term contract to Odell, get our, running back, and then we'll go.
Most teams work from the middle
Right,
out.
yeah.
You guys are working out in.
That's
okay.
right, that's all. Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, you got anything else from the NFL, from the world of the National
Man.
Football League?
Nah, I think we pretty much covered what we wanted to cover.
Yeah, pretty much covered it.
We got the Vikings and the Bears tonight. Who you got?
The Bears.
The Bears?
The Bears.
I think the Vikings pull out the...
It's in Chicago.
Yeah, I know. So what?
I like Khalil Mack.
I like Kirk Cousins.
And more importantly, who do you like tomorrow night? The Chiefs at the Rams. This game was supposed to be played in Mexico City,
Right.
but the field was all torn up, so they moved it to L.A., which is kind of... I think they should have moved it. I don't know who originally had it as a home game. Was it L.A.'s home game?
LA's home game, and I think then they
Should
had...
have moved. They should have moved it to Kansas City because of the fires out there. It's gonna be kind of rough.
And I think they had the option... The Rams had the option to be the home team for this...
No, it's on the schedule. They're either the home team or they're not.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Never mind.
But
Give me the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
You're
Patrick
big-
Mahomes. Patrick Primetime Mahomes.
you're big on the Chiefs. I don't know. I think the Rams are gonna win.
Think so?
Yeah, the Rams have had a couple of rough games, but I think they're good. They're really
Whoever
good.
scores the most is gonna pull this one off.
That's usually
That's my
that's usually a good way to go.
key point analysis right there.
Very good analysis.
Thank you.
I like it.
Exit show.
Yeah. Episode 47. This is my episode.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I'm 47.
It's as old as you are.
This one's mine. No numbers today. Me. It's my episode, damn it.
Damn, you're old.
Actually, I did come up with a 47.
I don't have one. There's only one that I can think about, and I really hate to even say this one, but I can't think of another 47.
Who?
Tom Glavine.
Yeah, that's the only one I could think of.
God damn it.
I
Fucker.
could have sworn there's a football player somewhere, but I can't.
Game 162. Game 162. All he had to do was pitch us to victory against the Marlins,
Couldn't do it.
and he choked it away. I can't think of another 47.
I can't think of another
There's-
47 either.
It's got to be a football player.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but we're just not thinking about it.
I don't know.
Someone will let us know.
Let us
For
know.
sure. You got a shout out?
I have a shout out. It's actually to a lot of people, but no one in specific.
Okay.
My shout out goes to all the actors, rappers, athletes, actresses, your regular Joe Schmoes that are doing anything and everything this week to give back, either to communities, to people in their own families that are helping, that are doing whatever it is to represent what Thanksgiving is. Not going out and doing Black Friday. It's doing something positive and just giving back. So my shout out goes to everyone that is doing something of anything to give back. So I know there's, you see it all over Facebook, Twitter, everybody
Yeah.
giving back, doing something. So keep spreading that positivity, man.
There's a lot of people that need our help, and it's a good time of year to do it. My shout out goes to Joey Logano. Today was the last race of the NASCAR season. He was in the final four, the four drivers that had a chance to win the championship, and he won the race today. So by virtue of winning the race in Miami today, he won. He is the 2018 NASCAR champion. And at 28 years old, I mean, he's been in NASCAR for 8 years. He's a prodigy. They saw him when he was a 15-year-old kid, and they thought he was going to be the best thing ever. And made it to the highest level at a very young age, and at a very young age, he has won his first NASCAR championship. So hats off to him. Congratulations. I'm sure he's going to be having a nice big old party tonight in Miami.
Sweet.
And with that, we have come to the end of another episode of the Positive Sports Podcast. Episode 47. If you want to reach out to the show, you can do so. You can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of my brother, how do they do that?
Don't be a leader, be a follower on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho 8.
And if you want to get a hold of me, you can do so on Twitter as well at eMontana21. As always, folks, we appreciate you listening and sharing some time with us. We hope you've enjoyed our episode today. And as I always like to say, ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.